So we are really excited about this opportunity this week against the Falcons. A very, very good offensive team. Coach Raheem Morris, the head coach, and Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, two coaches that I have a lot of respect for. Raheem is one of my mentors, a guy that's taught me a lot of football. And so they do a hell of a job. They've got a really good scheme. They've got really good players. And so we know it's a big challenge, but it's a challenge that we are excited about and looking to take on, and can't wait till Sunday to get here. But before we move on, I have to acknowledge my mother-in-law, Leslie Johnston. Today is her birthday, and so happy birthday, Leslie. Love you very much.
That's awesome. Thanks, Coach. Let's start with Cassidy, followed by Mike K.
Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Good, Cassidy. How you doing?
Good. Do you keep a list of these birthdays in your office to always remember, or do you just know them off the top of your head?
Well, my wife's birthday, I better know that one, right? And then my mother-in-law actually happens to be in town today, and she's from California, and it's her birthday. So I better remember that one as well. But no, it's funny. It's been a coincidence that my wife's birthday a couple of weeks ago, then my mother-in-law today. So
Mm.
as I'm doing a press
Well, I was
conference.
very
Yeah.
when you brought in Princely, obviously you knew what you could, or you knew what you hoped he would become. What have you seen him add to this defense just in the first 2 weeks already?
Well, very, very good pass rusher. He had a lot of pass rush production in college. And so that's what we were hoping to get. And he's been working tirelessly at it. And Coach Andrew Carter and the whole staff have just done a heck of a job with him. And yeah, he's done a good job these first couple of weeks. And but like all of us, coaches and players, we all need to be better. And he falls into that category as well.
And then also just wanted to ask, you saw Michael Penix right there at the end of last season. Have you noticed a change on tape from how he looked, even just in week 18 of last year and now week 3 of this year?
Yeah, Mike, he's very, very talented. He's got a live arm. I mean, his arm is electric. He could get the ball to any part of the field. And he certainly, even when he came in last year at the end of the year, he certainly seems like he plays with a lot of confidence on tape. And so he's commanding, great arm. The scheme is challenging. And so, but in terms of the concepts and stuff, it doesn't feel like they're doing too much different. It's just they do a good job of execution, and they do a good job of window dressing their looks. And Mike seems to have a good handle on that.
Hey Jay, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Well, Mike Jackson kind of brought this up earlier in the summer about how unique it is to kind of have two long, lanky corners that start for the team. A lot of teams have kind of variable sort of sizes. I'm just curious, obviously you want to win your division games. It feels like specifically having big corners in this division is a massive asset for you. How big is that in your scheme philosophy as well?
Yeah, you're always looking for the best players at every position, and a lot of times, big players, D-line, linebackers, outside backers, corner safeties, bigger is better, right? And so I don't think it's any different for that position, and we're very fortunate that between Jaycee and Mike, two guys that are good corners, good cover guys, but also they love to play in the run game. They got the size and the length to affect the run game, to reroute receivers. And so, yeah, we're very fortunate, and Mike has done a really good job, and you can really certainly see his size and physical presence show up.
And then I was talking to Nick Scott yesterday, and he was talking about how much accountability you take when things might not go your way. I was just curious, you've worked under so many really impressive defensive coordinators in your career. Who was the person or maybe the coach that instilled, vocal accountability in you as a coach?
Well, I think first of all, it probably comes from just my upbringing. My father, it was just the way we were raised that, hey, don't look outside for the solution. The solution's within. And so I always try to have that perspective, and I always try to be my harshest critic. And and then obviously I've been with some outstanding coaches, like really all of them are great that way in terms of, hey, when things don't go well, they're not looking to blame the players. They're not looking to blame anybody else but themselves. And obviously, part of that is like, hey, we have to hold each other accountable, and the players have to be accountable too. But no, I certainly always want to be very reflective of the job I'm doing and looking to continue to improve.
Part of the appeal of your scheme is there's a lot of moving parts, and you have to really be able to know your P's and Q's or whatever. What's the disadvantage in that? In that when you've got some young guys that you're trying to instill in there, like what are the growing pains that come with that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that our scheme is that there's a lot of moving parts. I think there's always a perspective of what can your players handle and not trying to overload them. And that's always where I try to build things off of. And, we have to have enough bullets in our chambers so we can defend what we're going to see on a weekly basis. But at the same time, like the priority is always, hey, let's get our guys playing fast. And so that's always where I try to play from.
David?
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good to be here. Wanted to ask you, I know you mentioned last week you wanted to, I think it was Scorton you were talking about, just wanted to play more aggressive and not think, or maybe Princely, but both of those guys are out on the field a little bit more, small uptick. Is there a fine line on when to know when to give those guys, a lot more on their plate as you're talking about? You don't want to overload them, and kind of where are you with that?
Yeah, well, every week we go into the game, really not just for that position, but every position, like kind of how we see everybody's roles. And, some guys are going to play on first down, some guys are going to play on second down, some guys are going to play in 2-minute, red zone, whatever it may be. And it's sometimes just the way the game works out, the situations that you're in, the play time reflects that, right? And so that's kind of what has happened these first 2 weeks. We've walked into both games with a plan of how we want to utilize our guys, Princely and the Nick included, and just the flow of the game sometimes would dictate, how much those guys are going to play. And so,
is there anything that you've seen them progressing at the most through the first 2 games?
well, yeah, I mean, a lot of things, like all of our players, like me, myself, like we're learning each other, we're learning how we're going to respond, the things that we can handle, the things that we need to, ease up on. But these guys have made great progress. When I look back to like where they started at when we got them in May till now, these guys have made a big strides, and they'll continue to get better the more football they play.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
Hey, EJ, good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Wondered what you would attribute the improved run defense to last week, and how big a role has Derek Brown played in that?
Yeah, the biggest difference between week 1 and week 2 was the explosive runs. So obviously, week 1 we gave up a couple, 3 or 4 runs that were led to big gains, and we were able to get rid of those really the second week. And so I thought, like, for the most part, we've done a good job between our D linemen and our outside backers really playing against the opponent team's offensive line. And so I felt good about how we've played. Obviously, week 1, there were a couple of things we didn't fit correctly, and it came back to bite us. And so just continuing to understand, like, where everybody fits in the puzzle, and when they run the ball, how we play up front, how we play off on the second level, and understanding how people are attacking us. And so I thought we did a better job of that week 2. And yeah, certainly, like, you have a player of Derek's caliber in there, it's going to make a big difference. And he's another one. Like, he did a good job week 1. Week 2, he was dominant. And so when he plays that way, it's really good for us.
And then on a follow-up, just what sort of challenges does Bijan present that maybe you haven't seen yet this year from the other backs you faced?
Yeah, he's complete. He's got speed, he's got quickness, he's got the jump cut, he's got power. He's a receiver. He's good in protection. I mean, very complete, and he's got that home run ability. And so we know he's a heck of a player. He's hard to tackle. And the message is we need more than one guy at the party to tackle this guy, and so we've got to get the population to the ball, because if we're not going to have a good day, we're trying to make a lot of one-on-one tackles on him.